Hey guys, good day and good energy to everybody. So in this video, I want to just address a few things and yeah, say something. Um, so yeah, I posted a video on Facebook last night, and it was a video showing my good buddy Pops, whom I have come to know as what we call God, Elohim, Heavenly Father. To me, he's the good Lord, the good Lord of the spirits. That's what I feel akin to. That's what feels authentic in my soul, based on the interactions that we've had, the things that he's shown me and told me, especially at his age and what he's been. He hasn't really. I mean, he's been in the same, New Orleans. I always pronounce it wrong, so I apologize. It's like pretty much his entire life. He really hasn't been, around the world and, studied at a bunch of different schools or even really done a lot of YouTube searches. I bring this up because I actually have done a lot of YouTube research. I've moved around a little bit. I mean, I've had the privilege of going on a lot of different vacations, so I've been around the world. I've traveled to a lot of different states. I've gone camping. I've gone, over the oceans. I've done, not as much as a lot of other people, but I feel privileged. Me and my family got to spend 30 days in Europe. So that was pretty. Not a lot of people can say that they're able to do that. It costs a lot of money. So, anyways, I'm not trying to. I'm just saying that I've had the ability to get around and meet people, and I've seen a lot of different human beings, and I've exchanged. I've had a lot of deep intellectual conversations with a lot of different people too. So, for me to come across Yahushua, Pops, the way I did, when I did, on my spiritual journey to see Zen, and him being at the time, I think, he must have been, I think, 25 or 26. So really young. Like, when I was 25 and 26, I was nowhere near where he was at, him wanting to save the world, trying to share hemp and what hemp can do with everybody, and his knowledge on spirituality and how deep he was, and knowledge on love and how much he genuinely cared about people and was trying to help, and how passionate he was. And it was just something I'd never seen before, like, at all, especially with his drive towards, righteousness and saving the children. At such a young age, most people at their age, are much more consumed with, their primal desires. I was too. I'd always had deep things on my mind and questions, and wanted to do things to help the world, and help change things, from what I felt were bad to good. But I still had, it was never my intense, direct, specific purpose, as it has been for Joshua since I've known him. At him being the age of 25, and I know he's been on this mission for some time now. So again, just how early on this type of passion to help change and save the world, you know to see it in somebody at such a young age with such true knowledge on spirituality and how it works, at least from my perspective, with energy and vibrations, and becoming an enlightened being. He's dead on. But what I've also come to learn in my relations with him is that he here is also, to learn about things and to be able to really help humanity. It's a lesson of perception that I think we need to work on and to learn. We need to change the way we've been thinking and seeing the world, and get rid of the lies and start really embracing the truths, the good and the bad, because there's, with truth, it's not just, the sugar and the stuff that feels good. It's everything. It's the truth. So, these are things that we got to start really confronting and dealing with. That humanity has a huge problem with, just sin and pedophile, and greed, and violence, and all these negative, down, dark, and heavy things. It's some serious problems. And until we start really confronting these things head on and looking at the core reasons for these things to be here in such force in the first place, I don't think we're really going to start to be able to really heal from them. So, my whole thing is, just look at the core problem. As somebody who's had a problem with addiction, I know it takes, you got to look at the problem straight in the face, and it's like I have an addiction with this substance. I need to devote all my time and energy on how to heal and get over this and change my way of thinking, and figure out why I feel so dependent on, a chemical substance that's alien from my body just to live, and then you start thinking about these things, and, my experience here has led me into spirituality and, the reasons why we have these desires for primal urges and lower vibrations, and how it goes into the mental programming of growing up in America and watching these televisions and eating these, processed and programmed foods and listening to this music, and this all turns into a synchronistic effect and accumulation of energies designed, or whether they're designed or not, but they have the ill effect on a human being, and they cause them to, live more in a lower vibrational realm of being rather than in a higher or a lover or a more loving state of being. So, anyways, I brought this up because I just wanted to, talk about Joshua and how I do believe he is God. I do believe this is all his, you could say, and that we were created from him. But in my time, my good 2 years and some change of, serving him and working with him and, working together, and a lot of it was me listening to, his direction with things and going along with it for the most part. It hasn't been until very recently that I've had to kind of put my foot down and just, be like, hey, Pops, I don't know, why things are the way they are exactly, but for whatever reason, the ideas that I have on how things will play out, spiritually speaking, with strategies, they seem to be a little bit more, at least right than yours are, because, he says a lot of things and he has a lot of ideas, but, they haven't really manifested the way that he wanted them to when he spoke about them, and I watched this pattern play out, more than a couple of times, and to a point to where I felt like it was my own, like I had to say something, not only just to help the mission actually, become successful and work and be completed, but also my own karmatic, I was suffering. I was beginning to lose a sense of myself because I wasn't standing up for myself. I wasn't sharing my truth with Pops, and then it goes in, then I start thinking about, well, this, maybe I'm here to help guide him as that part of humanity that's able to see things just a little bit differently than others, and because he's God, it might make sense that he could have, a particular, part of himself or person or creation of himself that's able to at least, communicate with God on a level to where, they can, that human being part of him can share what it's like to be a human being and what he's learned in this experience and what it takes to, really change this reality, as far as helping people learn the lessons of love. Because from God's perspective, all this stuff is common sense. This is all like, why aren't, and that's really how he is too. He's just always wanted to go for, the charities. They're turning it all into not getting it away from profit, turning it all into, love and just helping out the needy and fulfilling the Great Commission and, essentially just providing the solution instead of actually working the problem and helping teach the lesson. He's been so passionate about feeding the children and just all this corruption and evil that, in his quest to vanquish that, he's kind of lost, in my opinion, he's lost sense of what, the lesson is here that we all need to learn, and that's where I feel it's my point or my place to help share with him and the rest of the world, how we can change the world, from this evilness into something, better, into something more good, into something, quote unquote, more holy or heavenly or, just more harmonious for everybody. But it's a lesson. It's a lesson of love, and so for me, I'm thinking, well, what's the best way we can help, humanity from the current state that it's in with all of these houses and jobs and routines and programs and attachments, how can we change all that, and then, so my whole thing is, well, let's just, the woods are there, the wilds are there. In America, we have a lot of open land that hasn't been used yet, and it just seems like a ripe opportunity to help, And I've also got an experience with nature and the wilds and the outdoors. So, I have always felt like, my purpose here is to help humanity in some way get back to the wilds, get back to the earth, get back to a simpler, more organic and healthy way of living and doing things. So, and in my time out there in the wilds, I know that, I feel better. I feel happier. I feel more focused. I feel like there's purity around me that isn't around me here in the cities, and I have more support from a healthier, source of energy out there than I do here. So if one's really trying to heal and one's really trying to deprogram and cleanse and get rid of all of this toxicity, the wilds is really the best place to go. And then and while doing it, while getting our rehab on, while changing and healing, there's work that we can do. We can help grow hemp, we can help grow other wild organic foods, we can help build eco-friendly houses, we can help clean up the area that we're around and in. We can help learn to love ourselves and learn and know about ourselves, and learn to love others and learn about others. There's a lot of things, simple things that we can start paying our attention to that can help change this reality. There's a lot of talk about, just speaking your reality into, manifesting it and all these things. And, it's just be careful. Speaking is a part of the process, but, it's not the full picture. We're here, we have these bodies to do things. We're in this physical realm, we live in these houses that we have to build with our hands, and just also, realize that with all the manifestation talk and everything, one's got to wonder, well, then who's creating all this, sex trafficking and sickness and, pedophile rings? Like, where's all that coming from? If we're just, if the, my point is, yes, our minds are powerful and we can create things into existence, but you have to also have conviction with your thoughts. If you like a girl, let's say, for example, or anything, you have a vehicle that you desire, that you want, just thinking about it isn't enough. You actually got to go out and you think about it, then you go and do things that are in accordance with actually acquiring that vehicle. And then if certain things line up, it'll work out for you. But it isn't just about the thinking. You also got to follow through with the action. So, I just wanted to, share my ideas and thoughts on, how we can, maybe start moving away from, trying to speak our realities into existence, and move more into, actually working and, putting action into, more action into our days than speech. Because I think that's what's really going to help, feed the starving children in Africa and get this evil empire away. It's going to take action. It's going to take work. It's going to take us coming together and really doing something. So, but it starts with speaking. So speaking is important and it's a part of the process, and I don't want to diminish its effect because it is very vital and important. But, it's just one step to the process. So. Anyway, I was going to talk a little bit more about, some more personal things, but I might save that for another video, and, I think I might leave it here. But yeah, I wanted to just share with you guys more about my relationship with Joshua, God, Heavenly Father, and myself, and, why I've had to also kind of like go rogue in some senses and let him kind of do his own thing, and for me to kind of do my own thing. And I'm hoping in the process I can kind of show him or show myself, because I might not be right, but I do have an idea, which I kind of just shared with you guys, about how we can change this world, from the spot that we're in. And, I feel like I really need to exercise this feeling inside of me to see if it really is, something that can work, or if it's not, or if it's not going to work. And I need to, just really reevaluate where I'm at and, move on from there. So anyways, I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for watching my video. If you guys watched it this long, and yeah, just, I have more to come, and there is a personal video that I've been wanting to make that should be coming soon. So, all right, I love you guys. Take care. Bye.